And welcome back to Kirby 64. Today we will start the Rockstar, Level 2. This world is primarily desert and ruin themed. Figures, Nintendo making the desert world Level 2.
Usually, at least from what I've played with the Kirby games, like, yeah, every world's got its own theme. There's a desert level, then there's a jungle level, then there's like a beach level. So it's like, yeah, they always change these things up.
Which is fire and needle equals fiery arrow.
It's so weird to see Kirby, actually being the bow and arrow itself. Because I'm so used to, in, Triple Deluxe, where he just, dons on the little hat.
Yeah, look at that morbid power.
What the fuck was that?
Double needle. Everything's sharp.
Oy.
There is a specific power that I need for this level, so I'm going to be holding onto this single rock for a while.
Okay.
Ow. Now, one thing that I will say about this game is, there is an abundance of health items around here, but that can actually trick the player's psyche into becoming too reckless. Because I am very reckless with this game, because it's a game just to have fun, you know? Because it's very easy, but there will be times where if you're too reckless, that can spell your doom.
I'll believe it.
The enemies are rather infamous for being tricky with their patterns as well, so either way. First crystal shards up here.
Alright.
Yeah, this game also does very much reward you for exploring. If you don't explore this game, you're not going to find all the crystal shards.
Right.
I suppose another thing I should bring up when it comes to inhaling as well, that I didn't really get the chance to bring up before, and won't even be showing for a while. When you inhale enemies, you don't have to immediately swallow them. If you press, I believe it was C or something, I guess depending on what your controller you're using, you can actually put the enemy over your head, and depending on what the enemy is, can actually give Kirby a temporary power, depending on whatever enemy he's holding over his head. Those guys we saw floating down there just slowly previously with the little umbrella hats. If you suck one of them up and then put them over your head, then jump into the air, it'll help you float slowly down.
Right.
We'll see. I'll show off more of an example of that later on.
Don't touch the sand.
Well, you can't touch the sand if you want to. It's just obviously don't get in between the sand and the brick above it.
Yeah.
Like that poor asshole right there. Oh no, we're trapped. What do we do? Waddle Dee to the rescue.
Hey, how do Waddle Dee break that?
I don't know. Okay, so there's the shard wall that we need. So we need yellow and brown, which equals rock and electric. There's an electric guy just over this little oasis hill.
Alright.
Now be careful, because this I forget the name of this enemy in particular. Watch out for those Scarfies while you're at it. That guy obviously will surround himself in a little electric wave. Be careful not to throw your power at it while he's doing that, otherwise you will lose your chance, because there is no other rock enemy in this area, and you have to redo the level if you want this shard.
Oh.
In which case, rock and electricity equals electric rock wrecking ball. Yeah, some of these powers make sense, others are kind of a stretch.
I'm actually kind of surprised. I really like this combination power gimmick and everything. I'm kind of surprised that, they didn't stay with this.
I think people were just more fond of the fact of Kirby getting hats. Though technically, actually no, because, yeah, Kirby getting hats from his powers and then having only specific powers depending on the hat was introduced in Superstar. Though the concept of the copy ability was introduced in Kirby, I believe in Kirby's Dream Land 2. But he didn't actually start getting hats from them until Superstar.
Okay.
I believe this is the last game where Kirby will get a power but not get a hat. This here I want Lightning Needle, which creates Lightning Rod.
Huh.
It is very amusing to see a lot of these powers.
Is that literally an axe on feet?
Yes, and that guy also, that is a rock power if you want rock.
How is that a rock power?
It's a stone tomahawk. I don't know.
It's like,
Yeah, but it is amusing to see just Oh yeah, be careful to be careful when using that power against enemies. Like you saw it you saw it there. Kirby will still get hurt until he's charred.
Okay.
Which I like having this power right here because these rock guys will try to fall on top of you. So I just zap above them.
It's like Pega, Pega, Pega.
I never made that connection.
Really?
No, I didn't. Because I just saw Kirby getting zapped. Those guys are like boos. They'll only follow you if you when you're looking away from them. Those guys are assholes. Like with the shields, I forgot the comments on them previously. They are needle powers, but don't. But if you want to use a combination power with like needle and something else, don't use those guys first. Because if you try throwing anything at those guys, they'll block it with their shields.
Okay.
And they'll just waste whatever power you wanted to use. They're also stab happy too. Next Shard is down there. Fairly easy to get, but be careful. Don't linger down there too long, otherwise you will fall and die.
Yeah.
There's a Maxim tomato up there if you want it. Now, one of the most dangerous things in this game is actually crushers, which we're about to get to right now. Crushing, as is in most games, is instant death. And that's definitely one of the biggest threats of this game. Because there will be whole sections later on where it'll be crusher sections, where you have to get through a maze full of crushers that go up and down.
Kind of reminds me of a Marble Zone in Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah, similar to that. That one in particular is even more dickish because you're slowed down by the water, so you may not get a chance to get away.
Yeah.
Those purple guys are ice. And I know there are a few powers that that I didn't show off in this game because they're not really necessary. But like, here's some examples. Like ice and electricity will create ice and electricity turn Kirby into a refrigerator, which will actually spawn health food.
Wow.
Fire and electricity. So I'm like, oh, damn it!
Just
Fucking shots though. I guess while I'm trying to get that power. Fire and ice is obviously just Kirby turns into an ice cube and then melts. It's about as useless as it sounds. Fucking! They won't stand still. So I was saying, fire and electricity.
so static electricity and flames.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite powers because Kirby runs pretty fast, and nothing can hurt him. His entire body becomes a hitbox. But now we're introduced to the first DDD section. DDD helps us in this game. We hit you right on his back, and we get through maze-like sections that only he can get through because of his hammer.
Huh. So he's like a platformer and a mount.
Yes. This is the first game, though, where DDD does become your helper. Because as I'm sure most people who are familiar with the Kirby series know from this point, DDD is usually the asshole of the show. Like, he's not really an evil villain, he's just a jerk. He's a self-proclaimed king. He's just king because he's stronger than everybody else. He's greedy. He's gluttonous. He will steal food if he wants it. But he's just your basic, steal candy from a baby kind of bad guy. He's not.
And Kirby continuously kicks his ass and just lets him go.
Kirby doesn't really know the definition of punishment. Really, Kirby just kind of gets through things to make sure everything's safe. He doesn't really punish anything afterwards unless it dies. But like I said, DDD is not a villain. He's just a jerk. And damn it.
You make Kirby cry.
Now on this level, be sure you come into this level with the rock.
Oh god. That is horrifying.
Yeah. Almost all rock powers are invincible. Yeah, this is the first example of a level where you cannot get the power or the crystal shard you need to when you can get it, because there is no rock powers available in this first room, so you gotta come in with rock.
Ah, okay.
And that actually was the first case where I actually went back and edited out me going to get that power. There will be plenty of cases where I do a simple cut of me going back to get a power, or maybe I'm cutting out a death or of the such. So if you notice any random inconsistencies from with my lives or health or the little dots at the bottom of the screen, that's because I made a cut. Which actually, speaking of which, before that, take the left path. Take the right path, you miss a shard. Here's another example of what I brought up before, where if you don't swallow an enemy, I can actually eat it.
They'll just keep coming back.
No, don't swallow an enemy, put it over your head. This guy in particular will keep shooting. So he's like an unlimited source of ammo.
Oh, okay.
So if we took the right path, we would have ended up in the foreground, and we would have missed that shard.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, like I was saying, you probably noticed those little tiny stars that I've been collecting over the levels. Every time you collect one, that little tiny meter below my health increases. Fill that up, and you get an extra life.
Okay. I do gotta say, I really like the level design that I'm seeing so far in this. I mean, it's like... Because you gotta think, like, you know, with the Nintendo 64, this is when, you know, everything was going into 3D. Like, Mario went into 3D, Zelda went into 3D, so it's like, okay, Kirby's turn to go into 3D, and it's literally like a 2D side platformer. It's not like they tried to throw him in a 3D world.
Yeah. And this game was a 2000 game. This was a very late game in the 64's life cycle. But it looks really good. Like, you can almost pass this off as GameCube. In which case, another one of my favorite power-ups, Cutter and Ice skating. Yeah, I typically find myself liking the powers where you can just breeze through the levels and not get hurt by anything while doing so. In case we have our first example of an underwater section. Kirby has no air meter. He can stay underwater as long as he wants to. So, which I never really found the consistency of that. Because there are plenty of times where he needs to catch his breath, whether it be like in this game where he needs to catch his breath when flying, or in other games where he needs to catch his breath because he inhaled for too long. But he can breathe. He can stay underwater for as long as he wants to. So I don't know. There is a bit of a current pushing you down, and also watch out. I've never been hit by those in my life, but I hear they're instant death. Regardless, avoid them. Now go ahead and keep going up, but stay to the right. Avoid that, and to get this next crystal shard.
Alright. And random ice skating.
Ice skating underwater, only Kirby.
I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm always fascinated whenever I see this ending. I mostly keep staring at Waddle Dee, because Waddle Dee there is eating, you know, one of those little rice balls. But as I'm sure you know, Waddle Dee has no mouth. And I actually kicked myself there, because I needed that bomb guy. Luckily, this game has a typical trope of video games where if you off-screen a dead enemy, it'll come back. So it's very forgiving for this game, since if you find yourself killing a power that you need, you can always just off-screen it and come back, and then it'll be there again.
God, you're being chased by... I don't even know.
I think it's supposed to be some kind of pig or boar.
A warthog or something.
Damn it. Gotcha. And now we enter a random alien temple in the desert.
I'm not even going to question the logic in it because, you know,
It's Kirby.
Kirby.
This isn't even our home planet. This is a completely different planet anyway, so it's like...
Oh, we're not on Popstar?
No. We're on Rockstar.
Oh,
Popstar was World 1. Now we're on Rockstar.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, each level is a completely different planet.
So I take it, like, to go from planet to planet, he's using the little warp star?
No, you may have missed it in the last cutscene where we transitioned at the end of the first world. But every time you beat a boss at the end of each level, the crystal shard will open up the path to the next. The crystal shard will open up the path to the next world.
Ah, okay.
And then it opens up this little star-shaped portal that with the visual of the planet there, we just jump into the portal and then they're suddenly on the planet.
Oh, okay.
With this level, you need bomb and electric.
Okay. Like, I guess, like, was the warp star, like, invented in the Kirby series at this time, or did they just decide, nah, we're gonna do something different?
The warp star was around since the very beginning.
Oh, okay.
And it is in this game, but we won't be seeing it until much later.
Okay.
Like, end of game later.
Yeah. I'm just so used to seeing, like, Kirby's main means of transport being the warp star.
Oh yeah, well, this game has a lot of differences. Like, for one thing, you're not annihilating a Waddle Dee every now and then. And this is why you need electric bomb. You become a light bulb. And Adeline created these invisible paintings, which you need to press down the button of the shape in the order from left to right. You can only see those with the light bulb power. Do that successfully, and you have another crystal shard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of puzzles that Adeline will set up for us.
To get crystal shards.
Yes.
So she's, like, purposefully hoarding them for herself until you do a puzzle?
No. It's not like she's hiding them. Like but they're puzzles. They're puzzles that the shards are hidden in, and she gives us the hint to be able to, and she gives us the hint to be able to figure it out.
Ah, okay.
Now she's not hoarding the shards. I'm pretty sure she'd be much more hated if she was actually doing it. But no.
So, do we get any more helper friends in this game, or
no? Waddle Dee, Adeline, Deity, and then Ribbon. Those are our companions.
Oh, so no Meta Knight?
Nope, Meta Knight is not in this game.
Oh, okay. Was Meta Knight even invented at this point?
Yeah, he was. He was in the I keep forgetting the name of it. It was the name of the game that Nightmare of Dreamland was remade after. I keep forgetting the name of it.
Yeah, fuck if I know.
And Meta Knight was a pretty early character. He's just not in this game.
Okay.
Now, this is the funniest boss. Stand in this red circle and just stand there.
Seriously?
See, this power I'm using is double electric, where anything that stands inside of this variable instantly gets zapped. But look at this. Just stand in this one spot, you'll never get hit.
Can you believe the Fast and Furious gameplay?
Look at this. I love this so much. They can't touch me. Can't touch this.
So I guess, like, I can only assume maybe this is supposed to be kind of like Pokemon or something, where it's like, you need like the right power, and then it's super effective. Otherwise, you're fucked.
No, not in this case. Like, this is just a transition to the actual boss fight itself. This is just phase 1 of the boss fight, just avoiding their attacks. Once we reach the top, then we can actually fight.
Okay.
But like I said, just stand in this one spot, and you'll never get hit. There will be a point where you do need to jump, but that's, yeah, just mostly just standing in this. Ow. Right, now is it right there. That was that one last little fuck you to anybody who figures it out. Unfortunately, double electric does not hurt these guys. They're not affected by it, so in this fight, I'm going the usual route.
Okay.
Just suck up these little things. Doesn't matter the color. Just suck them up and down. Each shape can only take 3 hits. Be careful to not even when the shapes are dead. Be careful to not hit them anyway. Still, like they won't attack you anymore, but still try to avoid them. I believe they still can't hurt you.
Okay.
But other than that, a rather simple boss. Prepare for one of the scariest moments in the entire game.
Oh, really?
And they're traveling in the desert heat. No food, no water. Kirby is hungry.
Oh, God.
Very, very hungry. He almost murdered all of his friends right there.
Oh, my God.
They were this close to death. Luckily, they have a painter that can literally spawn anything that she wants to.
Oh, my God.
Look at that. Look at that. I wish I could paint like that. Just brush it left and right and you have a painting.
It's like, yeah, this became like a horror movie real goddamn quick. I wouldn't be surprised if there's fucking creepypastas that came out of this.
But now, next time on Kirby 64 and the Crystal Shards, we will traverse the Aqua Star. See you then.